Social media is a time-consuming product. Unlike other things in life that gradually require less and less of your time, like playing an instrument or a sport, social media requires more and more of your time as you get quote-unquote better at it. Unless you opt for a highly efficient form of usage in which you tell yourself that you will only go on at certain times of the day and for limited time frames. But most people can't do this. Social media only requires more and more energy as time goes on. In contrast to social media, investing requires an initial amount of money to get started, or monthly contributions. But after those initial payments, the opportunity cost of setting up the investment account is greatly outweighed by the money you begin making from your investments. Meanwhile, social media will only take more and more from you while giving you nothing in return. It is a weird phenomenon in the sense that you would think that an increase in followers would greatly increase social media's return on investment. But the opposite is true. As you gain more and more followers, your mind becomes used to the increase in dopamine from all of the attention, and your baseline dopamine levels significantly increase. These new dopamine levels do not only apply to social media usage, though. They apply to the rest of life. These higher dopamine levels take away happiness from everyday activities. Hypothetically speaking, maybe feeding ducks brought you great joy before you had social media, but after getting on social media, you now find very little joy in feeding the ducks. The same is true on the top end of the spectrum. Now that you need more dopamine to be happy, whenever you aren't receiving enough dopamine from social media, you may seek other forms of happiness. These other forms of happiness may include drugs, excessive eating, alcoholism, and depression, which can lead to heavy use of prescription medications. I can personally attest to this chain of events. Before I started using social media, I generally felt in control of my emotions. I also enjoyed the little things a lot more. Talking face to face with people, sitting alone to ponder my thoughts, talking with family on the phone. After I began using social media, some big changes happened, and I am not exaggerating. 1. I could not stand to be alone at all. 2. Friends seemed more distant, but hey, who cares? They followed me back. 3. This view of life made me appear desperate to just about everyone. 4. I did not accomplish as much as I could have, since I was constantly looking for the next dopamine hit. Constantly striving to gain one more follower to stick the needle deeper into my arm and snort the last line of cocaine. The drugs are an exaggeration, of course, but the rest of it is completely true. Let's look at number 4 more closely, though, as it directly relates to the opportunity cost of social media. For the 3 years that I used social media, I remember getting some stuff done, but I definitely could have gotten a lot more work done. However, the only thing I ever focused on was becoming quote-unquote insta-famous, or some shit like that. Instead of working hard to improve myself, I lost years of my life to a bunch of zeros and ones, also known as computer language. My personal opportunity cost was just a short 3 years of my life, in exchange for the use of social media. This amount of time seems small when compared to the average user today. However, many of you might say that 3 years is not short, and I agree with you. It is a huge amount of time. It is a huge and ridiculous amount of time to devote to something that literally provides you nothing in return. This is just my opportunity cost in the measurement of time. But how about all of the things that I could have been doing in place of social media? Hell, with all the time I wasted on Instagram, I probably could have conquered the world by now, modestly speaking. Looking back, if I spent 1.75 hours over the course of a day, every day for those 3 years, and this is conservatively speaking, I probably spent way more time. Then, adding up all of that time, I wasted 3,194 hours, or 133 full days, or 19 weeks, or over a third of a year. I could have taken a world trip with that kind of time, and then had time to come back and start a business, then sell that business, raise 5 kids, and produce and direct a full-length movie. Maybe that was a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. Social media takes from you in many more ways than you think, and oftentimes it can lead to a life of stagnation and inaction. Choose to live the life of action. Choose the life of self-improvement, of constantly trying to better yourself, and maybe those around you as well. Thanks for watching, kick ass, and be a man. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It lets me know which videos you like most. And if you are new here, hit the subscribe button for even more content. If you have any ideas for new videos, feel free to leave them down in the comments section under this video. Thanks for watching.